in the second match, I saw real improvement. Jacobs was qualified; he played well. They brought in NDI, who I thought has been one of the stars of Senegal at this tournament on the right wing, the Sheffield United winger, and then they had 3 goals from 3 strikers. And so that gave me the impression that, okay, they realize that they're going to have to step up, and they're doing it very well. And today, I expected actually Ecuador, because they were so impressive in those first 2 matches, to actually take the game to Senegal and not rest on their laurels with a draw. And it was the complete opposite. I thought it was, light domination from the Teranga Lions, and I'm so happy for them. And now I hope that this can be the first tournament where we can have 3 African teams qualified to the advance to the second round.
I think more than anything, that's what we're all hoping for. Can we have more African teams going through to the to the round of 16, possibly even into the quarterfinals, semifinals, and maybe I'm
Let's do
being a
it.
little optimistic. But you know what?
Possible,
We can
possible.
always dream. We can always dream. We can always dream. Gary, you are back.
I
Mahir is mentioning the return, or rather the changes, the 3 changes that were made by Senegal, and the fact that we had so many scorers coming through from the side as well. At a point where everyone had been talking about Sadio Mane, that one can almost say is genius on the part of Coach Aliou Cisse.
Well, I am intensely glad that as one of the people who was heavily dragged on Twitter for calling for the head of IUCC at the start of the AFCON and eating humble pie, this time I got my call absolutely correct. I not only predicted that they will be fine without Sadio Mane because you look at their squad and they have been together for a while, which is absolutely important in a team such as this. But they have the required amount of togetherness and unity to get the job done. Now, before the Sadio Mane injury, I must say that I predicted with him in the squad that they would reach the semi-final. I was not too sure, and I still am not too sure about whether that is how far they will go without Sadio. However, I sort of felt that the group stage should not be above them as African champions and this kind of African champion. So yeah, the substitutions come to play here, like Mahir said. It feeds into the narrative that I've had that they have a deep squad. Unlike Ghana, who have a deep squad that are not cohesive, have not been together for a while, we know the history of this Senegalese team, where they've come from, where they've been, the losses they've had, the near misses, the missing the round of 16 in 2018 via yellow cards, the coming into this tournament unbeaten in qualifiers, the coming into the AFCON unbeaten in qualifiers, then winning the AFCON. They've been there, they've done that. And if there was any team that could bring on staff that could do the job, it is this one.
Yeah, indeed, it is this one that can be the one that takes us to the Holy Grail, perhaps. Samuel Molakhehi on Twitter using the hashtag #SuperSportsSpace says, congratulations to the Lions of Teranga. Cameroon must play the game with their minds and proper game plan. They have a good chance of winning. Another one coming through from Tumelo Mtsweni, who says, I wish Bamba could start the next game as well as Jackson. Another one coming through from Gadal Mohammed, who says, Morocco has to play for Africa in their last game. This World Cup feels very African. And I agree completely with that one. Salih Khadrayo says Senegal is making Africa proud. May their strength grow even more. And another one coming through from Esa Swarai saying Senegal qualified for the round of 16. It simply means that other countries will follow too. So a hearty congratulations to Senegal. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Super Sports Space. Hashtag Super Sports Space. That is where you get to give us your view. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to get in on the conversation. It's not just about my panel. I do have Gary L. Smith. I have Dikang Mabalani. I also have Mahir Mezahi. But it's also about you. You are more than welcome to get in on that conversation. All you have to do, click on that button, that mic button at the bottom, request to speak, and you will will be able to do exactly that. Speaking of which, Kobe, Ofori, greetings. Welcome to the space. I know the last time we were on the space, you desperately wanted to speak and we didn't get a chance to get to you. Today, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yesterday, I was very desperate to come in on the conversation because Ghana had just won, and we were so excited. So I must have been monitoring your conversations for a while, and I am with the Ghanaian community here in the UK, and I can't reiterate the level of excitement for all the African teams. I mean, I've got Senegalese friends, I've got Moroccan friends, and it's just like you were saying before, we all feel like this World Cup is a bit is more closer to us than we ever thought. And what do we need to do to get it right this time? Most times we tend to do like Gary and other people can attribute to in Ghana. We start to do a lot of calculations and start to do the maths when we don't have our destiny in our own hands. But in this case, look at Senegal. They've gone through Ghana. We are just at the brink where we know that if we win our game, we are going straight to the next phase. And I know a lot of people are talking about revenge, 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 but we need to go into that game with a lot of game management, a lot of game plan, and have that revenge at the back of our heads, obviously. But as Ghanaians, there might be a few things on there that the guys will take up on. But coming back to the African context, I watched the match. I was watching the Senegal match, and then I had to just jump into a few meetings, and then came back. But what I can tell from all the matches that I've seen is game management is a big issue for African countries. The lack of concentration at some point, and the fact that we sometimes are not able to finish our chances. In the first half of this game, Senegal could have easily finished off the game. I could count when they were doing the replays on BBC. I could count about four four key chances that could have actually decided this game and buried it once and for all. And as much as we are trying and we keep hailing our boys, I want to also reiterate the fact that we need to drum in and re-echo to our coaches that please they should practice shooting, 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 and more shooting, because we want our goals to be on target and we want Africa to proceed all the way to the finals and hopefully bring the cup. So that is all I've got to say. We are really, really excited, and we'll keep monitoring and we keep cheering the boys on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kobe. Mahir, let me come back to you and we talk about the fact that should Senegal find themselves up against England, which at the moment is a big possibility because England, if they defeat Wales today, then go top of Group A or group is a Group B, and then at the end of the day, no, top of Group A, and then they become the next opposition for Senegal. How tricky will that be, especially with the English constantly talking about we're bringing it home?
That's got to be the most annoying song in world football, I swear. I'm sorry to any British people listening, but look, I think at a certain point, it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, once you start getting to the round of 16 and to the quarterfinals, you're going to get a world class opponent. I don't think we're calculating anymore. The main thing is to get into the knockout stages, because once you're in the knockout stages, we know football, and tournament football in particular, anything can happen. We saw that with Leicester City in 2016. Those that remember the European Championships of 2004 remember that Greece lucked their way into the final and won the European Championships. Once you're in the knockout stages, anything can happen. You prepare for a specific opponent, you try to nullify their strengths. You can take the game into extra time, into penalties. You can, score on a set piece. The main thing is to get as many African teams as possible into those knockout stages, and then we can start worrying about who we're going to play. At the moment, I don't think it matters too much. England can make it or Iran can make it. For me, that doesn't matter too much. Yeah, there's nothing else you can do anyways. You just have to win all your matches and let the chips fall where they may.
But is there a better opposition between England, Iran, and the United States? Because
Well,
those are the three teams
of
that,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, of course, on paper,
Doesn't that
England
make
are
it
the
a little
stronger side.
easier?
Yes, of course, on paper, England are the stronger side. They have the better players. You know, they made it to the final of the previous World Cup.